Greetings, America. Welcome to another humble episode of the analysis. Alright. I know it's been a few days since I did an episode. I've been gathering information. This episode here started as something I was just going to write, make a blog type of thing. It got so intense, the stuff I was finding out, I just felt compelled to actually go into this personally, in flesh. This being in mind, I'm kind of throwing a call to action out to President Trump, everyone at InfoWars, fine folks at InfoWars, anybody part of independent news or doing their own independent news, and pretty much every citizen in this country, on this planet, because this is affecting everybody. I knew about chemtrails a little bit before this point, enough to know that, they're really bad and all that, but I had no idea until I started really diving down into the rabbit hole, how far the rabbit hole goes. Every citizen on this planet, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what size, color, man, woman, child, doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, anarchist, literally it doesn't matter. Everybody should be concerned with the chemtrail issue. This isn't like Planet X, which is, kind of hearsay. There's no proof that it's, right there about to hit us and stuff. I mean, there are some things that point to some weirdnesses, and it's definitely a possibility. But this chemtrail thing, it's not conspiracy. It's fact. They're not even hiding it at all. You can find all this information out on the web if you go looking for it. If you don't have an interest in chemtrails and its issue, you something else for sure, because this is affecting you, your family, your dog, your yard, and every single thing on this planet. If you've never really looked into chemtrails and you just happen to fall along this episode, please don't just shut it off. Stay with me for a minute. Just a minute. Keep your mind open and hear me out just for a second, because we can work together to stop this. We can make changes. People have forgotten. We have the power. People have forgotten. So, for people who say that chemtrails are contrails, contrails or whatever. To say that a chemtrail is like a contrail would be like saying you're walking, okay, on a freezing, freezing cold day. You're walking down a beach, a long, open beach, and you walk, and your vapor from your breath is trailing behind you, all right? You know, as you walk, each breath just kind of. Now, a contrail would be, yeah, it just kind of, and then it's gone. You know, that's a condensation trail. That's a real contrail. Now, it would be like a chemtrail is like you walking down that beach and your breath hanging behind you in the air, like that mist or whatever, hanging behind you in the air for 2 miles as you walk down the beach. To say that that's the same thing as a contrail. It's not condensation, man. No. Absolutely not. Be like saying that. Okay, so I'm going to try to follow some structure here and keep it as short and sweet as possible. But I'm a Southerner. We like taking our time. We're slow. And we like to get the point across. You know? Just bear with me. Right. So, there's some stuff going on. These chemtrails that's beyond the scope of, I mean, what is even partially humane. I mean, in any way, like this stuff is so mind-blowing. It's taken me a minute just to let everything really digest, because it's sick. It's sick, and it's proven. All right. So, Morgellons, whatever you want to call it, tomato. Morgellons disease. This is a disease that has been condemned and laughed at and called a figment of the imagination for years and years. There are people who have been suffering with this disease for a long time, and they're written off as crazy or just druggies picking at themselves, you know. Yeah, it's all in your head. They tell you. If you think you've got it, they're like, it's in your head. It just means you're insane. All right. It's not insane. Now it's proven. So Morgellons, if you have Morgellons, if you have it, you feel things crawling inside of you or on your skin. You feel things doing things inside of you. You can pop a pimple and pop a crystal out of your pimple. Alright. You could have a sore and go to pick the scab, and a hair, a fiber, a hair come out of that sore. Alright. They used to say that it was just in your head. It's proven now. Okay? Hear me out. It's proven. Okay? We're going to revisit this in a minute. It's not a disease. It is a process. Morgellons is a process. Transhumanism, fetal stage of integration of mankind with machines, right? Computers and artificial intelligence. Morgellons is actually the first processes going on in all of us. It's happening to all of us. They're little fibers in the air from these chemtrails. Okay, these little fibers that are in the air can make their own red blood cells. This is proven. All of this stuff, I'm going to give you plenty. Anything that you have an issue with that I'm saying, anything, I'm going to provide resources, the websites that I found this stuff at, the videos that I'm going, there's a full list, okay? And in fact, probably throughout this video, that's why I've got this little fireside chat. That's why I got this little area, because I'm going to be putting images right here. And resources. So this is not something that I just made up, or that is just a conspiracy. This is proven. So there are these little fibers floating around in the air, right? And we're breathing them in all the time. I don't even know how to say this without it just, this is stranger. The stuff going on really is stranger than science fiction. It's weirder than science freaking fiction, alright? So let's just keep going. I'll get back to this in a minute. Alright, there's proof that the chemtrails are releasing things for many reasons, more than one. And they're doing many tests. And they're trying to get a lot of different things achieved via these chemtrails. Okay, so there was for example, there was a Pentagon lecture on genetic alteration. Okay. Look up FunVax testing. FunVax testing is all about mind control, genetic altering, to make us change into what they want us to be like, okay? So like the spraying over Baghdad that they did made people feel like they were burning on fire. Of course, you know, we're at war, so nobody cared. Go ahead and spray them. Well, what these sprayings were tests. They were testing on these radical, you know, people. Alright. Tests on the brain, genetics, and behavior predisposition performed shows radical religious individuals have certain specific genetic traits that make them more inclined to be radical. Genetics that they've got over there as a whole, like it just, they've got certain genetic traits that make them more passionate and overly, you know, radical about those kind of issues, literally. And the spraying over Baghdad with those chemicals that they sprayed rendered genetic alteration, okay, of these traits, resulting in re-education down to a genetic level to make them calmer, and dispassionate regarding religious and social issues. Okay? So they were literally spraying stuff that changed them genetically to make them more agreeable and calm and not radical when it came to religion. Now, they can do this, and there's proof. They can do this in regards to anything. If they don't think you're buying enough, if they don't think we're buying enough, you know, crap at Walmart, essentially, they could spray us with the right blend of stuff and have us just going shopping crazy, you know. They can change your beliefs, your actions, you, you, your personality, your oomph, your drive, your will. They can alter it. And they are. All right. They are. So look up. I'm not even going to go into all of this, but look up the DMAT gene and virus. Okay. Like they're putting stuff. Look up the Granada Forum. This is stuff that if I went into each thing, it would just be too long a show. They've got stuff in the chemtrails being released that is being put into everything via different routes. Okay, different ways. They've got insect transmission. Get bit by a freaking mosquito. Boom. Vesicular, airborne, water release, diffusion, infection, you know, like of plants, products, people, infection. I mean, they can infect in so many ways everything. You know, the stuff's sprayed into the air, and then it's rained down onto everything, and then everything's sucking it up. All the plants are sucking it up, and we're eating the plants, and then blah 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 blah. And then if you know whatever doesn't get sucked up, you know, is getting evaporated right back into the air. You know, there's no natural weather left. Take that to the bank. There's no natural weather. When was the last time you saw some huge, beautiful, puffy clouds? When was the last time? When was the last time you saw them spraying chemtrails on a really, really, really cloudy gray day? Already cloudy and gray. No, they spray on the blue skies. They spray on the blue skies. When was the last time you saw some real natural weather? I'm going to give some links to some sites you really should check out. The USPTO, our patents office. They're the ones coming out with these different things they're testing. You know, different metals, heavy metals. I mean, you realize your body is poisoned beyond like what you have with heavy metals, many things. These fibers, all sorts of stuff. All right, the NSA, they've got the whole internet and then some tapped. Everybody, everything is tapped. Your smart TV is listening to you right now. Everything. And they're authorized. All right? They're authorized to database everybody. Everyone and their mama. It's what the whole Facebook thing's about. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. It's an information gathering medium. That's what it is. It's just to keep tabs on everybody. Yeah. You know, we've got stuff going on too, like look into Project Endgame. Okay. This is a prison planet in the first place. And we're all being controlled lied to. You're living in a matrix of sorts. Look up Project Endgame. Okay. We've ordered, our government has ordered thousands of guillotines. Thousands and thousands of guillotines from Japan. They've ordered 500,000, at least, not more, caskets made for 40 plus people. Huge caskets. The Patriot Act pretty much did away with certain constitutional laws. I mean, it just out the door. 6th, 8th, and 13th Amendment. Look those up. Those hadn't been our right anymore for some time. It's domestic terrorism, and the elite and the Illuminati and who knows what out there as well. We're not alone here, I'll tell you that right now. We're not. We've got German Air Force here. I mean, when the military and martial law go haywire and chaos breaks out, and it's a police state in every state, police nation. I mean, we've got German Air Force here that are ready to strike out onto the cities and get everybody put in their place, you know. Re-education camps for the ones who've got too much of a mouth on them, you know. If you try to stand up for yourself, they will send you to these former Walmarts turned FEMA camp / concentration camps. They will try to re-educate you, and if you are not re-educatable, they will kill you. They will kill you. There's an airport in New Mexico. It's a private airport. A lot of chemtrails spraying and stuff is coming out of this airport. The planes, you know, taking off and stuff, and they're expanding it. All right. No commercial flights come into this airport, but it's big. It's big, and they're actually adding another mile-long runway. I don't think people quite understand. When I say everybody needs to get up off ass and do something about this, I mean this in the worst way. This isn't, you know, when I post on Facebook, I can post a funny little video, like a funny something, and it gets a few likes, you know. I can post some pictures, something, get a few likes, you know. I could post something with the times and hit, you know, about the latest movie about to come out or something, lots of likes, you know. But I tell you what, the second I post something about chemtrails or shadow government or anything relevant, be it political or spiritual or both mixed in or whatever. Zero likes. I mean, maybe my fiance will like it. Maybe I'll get one or two other likes. Maybe. But people don't give a crap. People don't care. People are not interested in this stuff. The masses aren't. More and more people are waking up to this and are starting to stand up because that's what it's happening now. I don't think people understand. This has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, any right wing, left wing, anything political like that. This has to do with humanity. It's affecting everything and everybody. People need to stop being so chicken shit and get up off their ass and stand up, fight, work together to make a difference. Because if we don't, there's no one to help us. There's no one here to help us, really. We've got assistance, I think, from certain things. That's my opinion, so I won't add it. But what is fact is there's really no help. There's no chance if we don't do this and work together to make changes. We're going to be enslaved more than we already are. They're putting chemicals in the air such as aluminum oxide, stuff like that. Just one example. Silver ions, stuff like that. These are toxic, heavy metals in the air. They are devastating to microorganisms, to fish, things in the water. Nothing's safe to you. Heavy spraying they're doing now. And it's funny too. They're spraying so heavy, it's so obvious. And so many people never even once look up at the sky. They've just gotten so complacent and used to it. It's like, are y'all seeing this? Look at the sky. This is wrong. Some days they're spraying heavy. You can smell it in the air almost. You can feel it. Universities have done studies on this stuff. You can go take classes on it. They're literally turning us into GMOs. Yeah. Genetically mutated, altered organisms. Those red blood cells in the air and those fibers in the air that I was telling you about that can make their own blood, and you can look online and see scientists taking these fibers out of insects and these long fibers. Okay, you take one out and put it down, they move on their own. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, America, I have been a sufferer. of Morgellons for some time, some years. I had a cut, a scab, once that I found a hair in, a long hair. I'll never forget it. It scared the crap out of me. I have felt things moving inside of me. This is not my imagination. It's not due to anything. I've felt things inside me moving. I found a hair in a cut. Pulled it out like, oh my god, what the? And one time I popped a pimple with a straight up crystal in it. I'm gonna post the episode right here, right now. Right there. I'm sure it's there now. Watch that. And tell me you are not freaked out, beyond freaked out. Watch that video. It'll explain what I'm talking about. There's known heart facilities, and they're evil. They're very evil. They say that all this chemtrail spraying is for just, help make it rain. BS. BS. They're in on it in the worst way. And there are heart facilities in Alaska, Area 51, Long Island, Peru, Puerto Rico, Brazil, the UK, Norway, Russia, China, Japan, India, 2 in Australia, and then some. Darkening skies. They're putting so much crap in the air that the freaking sun can't shine on everything the way it's supposed to. Plants are dying, getting sick. Fish are dying. Creatures all over this planet dying by the droves. Sick. We don't know why. Oh, no, we know why, really. People dying. Upper respiratory infections, and people coming down with what they think is a flu or a cold that lingers and lingers and makes them at one point or another feel like they're going to die. If they don't actually die, they feel like they're going to die. It's not a cold. If you've gotten a flu lately, or really, really, really bad flu, I mean, almost put your ass in the dirt. It's not a flu. You're just poisoned with the chemicals. Because a few weeks back they did some seriously heavy spraying. I just had a friend out of nowhere the other day. It's like a week ago. Not even a week. And she, it was like a week ago. She just, my age,